CT Dino 360 asks, what happened to Kamino after the Clone Wars? Well, let's find out. Welcome to Star Wars FAQ, what happened to Kamino after the Clone Wars? During the Clone Wars, Kamino's cloning facilities manufactured clone troopers for the Grand Army of the Republic. However, when the Galactic Republic transitioned into the Galactic Empire, did the world continue to produce clone soldiers? As far as canon goes, there is no real answer. Though the Empire and then the First Order chose to hire human males from territories like the Outer Rim instead, Kylo Ren's stated cloning technology was still alive in The Force Awakens. But so that this video is not just speculation, let's look at what happened in the Legends universe. Immediately following the Clone Wars' end, Palpatine firmly established Imperial control through force of arms on the planet to secure the Empire's future soldiers. However, as the Kaminoans continued to serve the Empire, some of the race became resentful of Imperials treating Kamino like a virtual military police state. In response, they secretly began a rebellion, discreetly producing a new army of clone troopers based on the genetic template of Jango Fett. However, they would only be loyal to the Kaminoans. As the next 10 years passed, the army was trained to liberate Kamino from Imperial rule. Made up of Jet and ARC troopers, the anti-Imperial soldiers were clad in Phase 1 clone trooper armour. In addition, the ranks were boosted with LAAT gunships. Unfortunately, the Empire discovered the Kaminoans' secret and so dispatched the 501st Legion to destroy the rebellion. Led by Boba Fett due to his vast knowledge of Tipoca City, the 501st Legion essentially won the battle before it began since their soldiers were far more experienced. Unwilling to lose the main source for producing the Fett clones, samples of Jango Fett's blood, the Empire's first objective was to extract a container of Fett's DNA. After doing so, the 501st Legion sought to destroy the Kaminoan life support systems, which would eradicate the growth of another rebellious army. Despite being protected by an elite group of ARC troopers, the undeveloped clones were killed. By the end of the battle, all anti-Imperial soldiers and every rebel Kaminoan were dead, with most actually brutally murdered. The 501st Legion may have proven their loyalty to the Empire, but Palpatine felt an entire army based on one genetic source was too susceptible to corruption. From that point onwards, stormtroopers were either created from various templates or hired as regular human males. But Kamino wasn't totally rendered defunct, however, as in 1BBY, Darth Vader used an experimental version of Kaminoan cloning technology to create a far more powerful version of his fallen apprentice, Galen Marek. Deep within the Tamira City cloning facility, Vader personally oversaw the accelerated cloning process. Unfortunately, due to the inherent flaws in cloning Force sensitives, the first series of clones were unstable and deformed. After months of slight adjustments, which only made the clones more unstable, the Sith Lord had to train many of the clones in a trial and error process until the perfect specimen was crafted. Tamira City was ultimately wiped out by a tsunami caused by the rebels, however. When the Galactic Empire were defeated following the Battle of Endor, Kamino faced an economic collapse, but the planet continued to survive on smaller contracts, creating clones for warlords and criminal organisations. So now we know what happened to Kamino after the Clone Wars, in Legends anyway. But what do you think happened in canon? Maybe it'll appear in a future Star Wars film. If you have a question you want answered about the Star Wars universe, leave a comment below. Thanks for watching, and for more Star Wars FAQs, keep it locked here to the Kyrgyzstans. The clones had a strong Mandalorian influence since they were so close to Jango. Some clones were even trained by other Mandalorians and solely used the native Mandalorian language often to communicate.